Hey y'all. I just want to say that you guys follow this person, but you know how they say you can't debate somebody's personal experience? I might not be able to debate his actual experience, but I can tell you that the facts of this do not add up whatsoever at all. Not to mention that if you talk to pretty much anybody from Chicago in Uptown that he knows, they're going to tell you this never happened. So no, maybe I don't have direct evidence, but everything leading up to it in the timeline does not make sense. And the truth is, this man was never shot. Did I know that upon being with him? Oh, no. No, I didn't. And a lot of people ask me, well, how did you find out? Or why are you speaking out now? Because I came to find out the truth. And it was probably the last couple of days of May that I started to find out that, oh my gosh, this story is not true. And I called his mother on June 1st, and you know, she can say what she wants, but I am going to drop the evidence right here so you guys can see that she did talk to me. She can sit there and say that I tricked her into doing it, but as you can see in these messages, she was very understanding and had no problem talking to me. In fact, she talked to me for quite a while. So for somebody who was cornered and pushed into it, it definitely doesn't seem that way. And she told me the truth. And I just want to say about the personal experience that it is a little bit weird that somebody is going to say that you cannot debate somebody's personal experience. However, if you've listened to this man before, you will know that people have asked him on Q&As multiple different times if he's seen somebody famous in hell. And you know what he would always say? He would say no. And anybody who's been to hell who claims that they've seen somebody famous, they're not telling the truth, because you're so engulfed in your own torture that you can't even focus on anybody else. But when you think about it, that makes absolutely no sense. Because if that was the truth, then why are all these hell testimonies always talking about other people? And he even talks about how many other people were being tortured. So if that's really the case, that doesn't make any sense. So I just want to point that out. He always wants to say nobody can debate his personal experience, yet he's also the man debating a lot of other people's personal experiences, and that makes absolutely no sense. Who have listened to his story or have read his book, you would know that he claims that he went to Cuba. It's all over in his book. And truth be told, this man had told me that he went from Chicago to Florida and then to Cuba from there. And I just want to point out, and I'm going to put the evidence here, that simply cannot be true. We were not even allowed to go to Cuba during that time. If he was born in 79 and he was 9 years old, you do the math. But it was definitely between 1962 until 1999, we were not, as Americans, allowed to go to Cuba. So that story is also false. And the fact that he says that his dad died when he was two, that would make it still during that time frame, which means that couldn't have happened either. And also, I can show screenshots, and his mother has also told me that his dad is not Cuban, and his dad is not gone either. You know, the truth is he just simply doesn't know his father. And so instead of saying that, he just wants to make up his own narrative of what really happened, and that's not the truth. His dad is not Cuban. His dad is very much an African-American man. In fact, his mother has pictures that she has shown other family members of his dad. So if he wants to sit here and say that happened, well, I'm about to show you the proof that there's no way that could possibly happen, and that was all made up. He has not met anybody on his dad's side of the family as well. So all of the, uncles and grandmother and all of that stuff is simply not true. Now, I think I've mentioned this before. When we were working on his book, everything that he said he would, for me to type, because I typed the whole book, unfortunately, he would say out loud. But I woke up in the morning one morning, and that's when the whole Cuba story was actually written out. And he just said, oh, it's just easier for me to write it or whatever. At the time, didn't think much of it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know why he did that? Because he wouldn't be able to keep his story straight, and with all the names. And there was even parts in it that still didn't really make sense. But I was just like, well, it was probably so traumatizing that he didn't remember. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys the evidence so you're going to see. Now, another point I want to make, and he's also said in his videos over and over again, is how the population of Uptown was like 500,000 people. So it was pretty impossible to run into the same person 3 times. Okay, well, tell me why. When I look up the population, which I will post, and this is 2018, And you'd think that normally it would grow. However, I don't know. But I'm just saying, there's no way that that's a true number. If he is telling the truth about things, like I said, it's always half-truths, and he over-exaggerates everything to make his story just seem even more interesting, and that's why so many people are drawn to it. But the population was only 58,424 people in 2018. So that just goes to show that that is a very big exaggeration on his part, and I'm going to show you. And I also want to point out that if you are supporting his Bacchati stuff, I just want to let you know that I come to find out, and I will also post a screenshot, that this man was in a gang, but he was in this gang for a year tops, and this was a really long time ago, way before 2009. And as he talks about, he went through he talks about how he went to a bad boys home when he was younger, and he was so bad that he ended up getting kicked out, if you read his book. That's actually not true. The reason he left Chicago in the first place was because he was in a gang, and I'm not going to say the gang for my own protection, but he was in a gang, and he tried to start his own gang, which is funny because he always talks about false flagging or whatever. And he tried to start his own gang. And with somebody else. He was never the founder of Bacchati either. He's the co-founder. Him and this person tried to start their own gang. And guess what it was called? Lunatic Bacchati. So this man has taken Bacchati, took it to Minnesota, and tried to make it something religious. But that's why he got kicked out of the gang, and they were not with it. Okay? They were not with it at all. And so that's actually part of the reason he left, and he did not go to, well, if you want to consider this military school a bad boys home, I'm going to post it. But he actually went to this school, he got his GED there, and then he later on went to college at Prairie View in Texas, but he got kicked out within a year. And yeah, so he never really went to, or got kicked out of this bad boys home. He went to like a military school, got his GED, but what I'm saying is that Bacchati was never something religious. So if you're supporting Bacchati, it's really basically supporting something that was literally created to be a gang, and then it didn't work out. So I just want to let that be known, that I do know that, and I have a very reliable source giving me that information as well. So, and he knows it's true. But I just want to point that out. Less than a year he was in it. He never climbed up the ranks like he claimed. You know, he did sell some drugs, but it was nothing major like he claimed. See, to him, everything that is true is always very exaggerated from the actual truth. Also, I want to point out the fact that he claims that his death was June 9th, 2009. I'm going to show you how this is not true. Because this man was convicted of committing domestic violence, but the night that it happened was June 18th, 2009. So you're telling me not only was this in Minnesota, and it clearly states that, but that somebody who supposedly can never walk again and was in the hospital was very much so in Minnesota just days after this happened, and then also broke the restraining order 8 times after that. I also want to point out that even though the victim of this situation claims that it never happened and that it's not true, it clearly states who the victim is, which I will also point out because it is public records and anybody can view it. So if she wants to lie and say that didn't happen, well, the facts are all there. So you can try to lie as much as you want, but that does not make sense and collaborate his story at all. The truth is, this man left between 1998 and the 2000s. He left Chicago and he never came back. He comes back to visit, yes, but he does not live there and has never lived in Chicago since then. So that also does not make any sense. And, you know, if he wasn't living there and he just came there supposedly to visit during that time, don't you think that at least somebody in his family would know about it? If you guys have not noticed, his family does not ever go on there, nor does anybody from Chicago and ever say that they were there, that they seen this happen. And if it supposedly happened, you know, at his family's, they would definitely know about the situation. So I'm going to point that out. And that does not make any sense at all. Somebody who could never walk again, is able to commit domestic violence. That doesn't make any sense at all. Another thing I would like to point out is that you can tell this man is a liar because here's some things on the back of his book, which I'm going to post. Dominic Morrow was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, currently living in Minnesota. He is a co-founder of Bhakti Inc., director of the Free Will Committee, researcher for the ADA Lanu Association, and pastor of Eternal Hope Church of Bhakti. So like I already explained what Bhakti means, but I also want to point out that this Eternal Hope Church of Bhakti does not exist, nor does anybody ever know of him ever being a pastor of a church. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't even have his pastoral degree like he claims. If that's true, then let's see it. Because I highly, highly doubt it. And I can tell you if he makes something up, I will be the first to check out its legitimacy. Because if you make up something like that and it's not true, then you're committing fraud. And you can be convicted of a felony for that. So I would be the first person to be like, no, that's not true. Look, I can't prove that he was not a pastor, but I can tell you that he was not a pastor of this church. Because if you look it up, it does not exist. There's been several people who have tried to look up this church, and it simply doesn't exist. I also want to point out that he says he was a researcher for the ADA Lanu Association, and I'm about to show you guys a video that shows that there's no way that could be true because I've also looked that up and it does not exist. And the truth is, he made the word Lanu up himself. I will post a video on here showing you how this is not true. Look it up yourselves. Look up ADA Lanu Association and Eternal Hope Church of Bhakti. It does not exist. This man is nothing but a liar.
Around real quick. Alright. For everyone who speculates why I say Wamshi, Lanu, I had to keep reposting it for some reason. It's not taking, but this is my own language. It took me 18 plus years to create, and I'm still adding on, so I would say 19. This is called Elix, everyone. And I want you all to,
Also, I don't know if you guys seen it or if it's still up there or not, but he did do a live, and I want to point out that in this live video, he showed his stomach, and he did it so fast that you could barely see it. However, I do have a video zooming up, which I am going to show again, and I want to let it be known that he literally has his own nickname tattooed super big on him, more than one time, by the way, but it says Nikki. So when you look at his tattoo, that's all that this is. If you look at the mark and you think that it's something else, it is literally part of his tattoo. It is nothing more than that, and you can see very clearly that there's no shot mark on his stomach. Not only that, but he says he was shot in the stomach twice, so why are you reaching down by your waist to show the other one and then decide not to show it? That doesn't make any sense. And then you notice how he does a little laugh afterward and then says that you need to focus on God and goes to show his other shot marks, which, by the way, did not happen like he claims. I'll get to that in a little bit or in another video, but that is also another lie on how he got that. But I just want to point out that his body language kind of says all of it, and that's just part of his tattoo. It's nothing more than that, and that also would not be his stomach shot like he claims. And so I'm just going to show you guys the video, but I zoomed in very, very closely so you can really look at it. Mind you, I laid next to this man every night. I had asked him about the gunshot wounds before, and that's not the spot that he showed me also. But I laid next to him every night, and I felt his body, and I can assure you that there is nothing there, which you can also see when you look at it. So here you go.
Here you go, one. There go one. Yeah. Well, no, I ain't gonna show the rest. Let me stop. Let me stop. You all. Y'all have no idea, Joe. This is hilarious. But no, I ain't gonna do that. I will never do that again. I ain't gonna show those guys. I got too many, actually, way more than just the story. That's the point. That's why everybody laughing. Y'all see my face? Y'all see my face? Do y'all see my face? Do y'all see how many scars I got? You see the bullet thing that went past my face too? I got so many other scars and so many other stories, y'all. Quit playing. Focus on God. That's another thing. Y'all focus too much on my physical abuse. Y'all focus on my thug life instead of focusing on God, yo. That's hilarious. Oh my Lord. All right. I had human spirits.
Also, there's a reason that I'm not posting the bank statement, the one that I do have, and I am not posting the receipts because the truth is they're not really my receipts to show, and the bank records really could be a federal type of thing if I post them as badly as I want to prove my point because I know that I'm telling the truth. But this man definitely is smoking and drinking, and I do have proof of that, but like I said, I can't post it without somebody else's consent, I don't believe, and that could be a federal charge, so I'm not going to go that route. If people don't want to believe me, that's fine, but what I can tell you is he definitely has a bottle of liquor in one of his videos that he posted, not this last Saturday, but the one before. So it's been almost 2 weeks now. However, I didn't know he was drinking. I had been told by family members that he was acting drunk, and they know him when he's drunk, and he was drunk in some of his videos. But I personally never seen it, and I don't know what he's like drunk. But I can tell you that he was definitely drunk in this video, and he was slurring his words. So even if this story is whatever, if you want to believe that it's true, there's still so many things that, you shouldn't be drinking and calling yourself a pastor and telling other people not to drink and telling other people not to smoke, and that once you light a flame to it, it changes its components and everything like that, but then you're doing that same thing. And I can tell you and assure you, and I know for a fact that he is, but also this video was quickly deleted off of his page. It's no wonder why he quickly deleted that so fast. So here it is.
Could you see me, my brother? Could you hear me? I'm live right now, my brother.
I'm trying to.
Hey, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. What's up, my brother?
Okay.
All right.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, yo, listen. I had to come back and thank you for bringing that to my attention. I didn't know nobody was talking crap about me in the background. I didn't know nobody was talking out the side of their neck. Am I going crazy, or
Okay,
was somebody talking?
Behind yours, okay.
So
was somebody talking?
I should have mentioned this. Before the video, but I didn't. But you have to be paying close attention to the background to be able to see what you're looking for. But you can clearly tell that it's a bottle of alcohol, and you can also clearly tell that he is slurring his words. And you got to pay attention. But I'm just saying, for somebody who claims to other people that they shouldn't be doing it and that it opens up portals to the evil side and things like that, he's doing the same things that he's telling other people not to. And if you guys watched a recent live of his, he literally was talking about how it changes the components, and he literally said on there, like, unless you have a medical reason like nerve damage or something like that, you shouldn't be doing it. Why do you think he said that? Because he knows that he's doing it, and so he's trying to justify why he's doing it. And honestly, that's part of the reason I never said anything for so long. Truth is, this wasn't happening the whole time we were together. It really started after his back and the problems that continue with his leg. And the truth is people always ask me, like, thinking that I was more involved. And I would like people to ask me instead of just assuming. But even if you ask me and you don't believe me, you're entitled to your opinion, but that doesn't change the facts. I used to smoke in my past, and I used to drink and do all types of things like that, but I don't do that anymore, and I was in no way, shape, or form involved in any of that. I have told you guys my part, and I have repented from that by staying at hotels with him. However, when we stayed at hotels, we were always doing business work, emails, sending out things, phone calls, appointments, Bible studies. It was never just sitting around, doing nothing. And the truth is, I should have been getting a paycheck for working for him. So, the only regret that I really have, besides ever meeting him, truly is not saying something sooner. But I guess I felt like I really didn't know how to say anything, and I just felt like this was something that I kind of had a handle personally between me and him. And I do regret not speaking out sooner, and so I have to take accountability on that part, that I didn't say anything to people sooner. But you have to know that when somebody is abusing you as badly as that, you don't even know who you can turn to, because they alienate everybody against you, and they don't allow you to talk to anybody. You know, if I didn't answer the phone right when he wanted, it was a problem. And so it was just like, I just felt like I didn't know who to turn to. If I say anything to anybody in the ministry, then the ministry is, you know, pretty much over. My marriage is on the line. And so I just thought, well, this is something that we have to figure out in our personal lives. But in no way, shape, or form was I involved, or did I do that with him. If you want to think that, that's fine. People are entitled to their own opinion, but you really don't know me in real life, and you really don't know what I do. People that are around me on a daily basis, my family and things like that, they know what I'm really up to, but it's hard to say over the internet. So if people want to say that I was more involved than what I was, okay, people are entitled to their own thoughts and their own opinions, but I'm telling you that that's not the truth, and I know what people are saying about me. So if you're saying things about me, just know that I know. I'm also going to mention that there is a video of him on my YouTube, but I'm also going to put it on here for those people who haven't looked at it. I'm trying to put pretty much everything together in like 1 or 2 videos, and then put it out with pretty much all the evidence, because, you know, I've been saying these things, but a lot of people aren't actually going to go look them up. So I just figured I would do it for everybody so that they don't have to. But I just want to, you know, state that he claims that he has nerve damage. And to be honest, I don't even know if his lung surgery and stuff is true, even though he says that, and he might have actually been in the hospital. But to get nerve damage from that, I'm not a doctor or anything, but it just doesn't really make sense why it would be in his leg and things like that. And I just honestly feel like, you know, he is making it a bigger deal than it really is, because, you know, there was lots of times that he walked miles and miles and miles with me, and also other people in his life that have also told me that. And if you notice him on lives, he's always walking very, very fast, and it just doesn't really make sense for somebody who claims that their leg hurts so bad that they have to smoke and all of these other things. And I just feel like for him, it's just an excuse to not have to do certain things, not to attend phone calls. When he had an attitude with me, that's what it would always be about, was his leg. And it just doesn't really make sense. But I do want to point out that if that is true, if he really does have nerve damage, he clearly states in this video what it's from. In no way does he ever say it's from a gunshot wound. Does he ever say that? No. No, he doesn't ever say that. So I'm going to post the video right now.
You're talking about the concern for my health. Oh, Nikki this. Oh, Nikki that. Stay at the hospital. Stay in Rochester, the best hospital in the world. Guess what Rochester did to me? Why nobody's talking about this? I got one motherfucking leg that's paralyzed now. I went there for fucking lung surgery. I come out with nerve damage with one fucking leg. Okay? I'm pissed. I'm sending shots out. Nicole Whitlow. Thank you for your advice. Kimberly Marvel, shut. Hey, nobody's home. No! Is there anybody got a problem? Hi, how you doing? Okay, back to what I was saying. I'm just fresh out the hospital, a couple hours ago, so whatever, give or take. But everybody, oh, Nikki, stay in the hospital, stay and do this surgery. You know, I stayed and did the surgery, and no motherfuckers fucked me up. I might be fucked up for the rest of my life using only one motherfucking leg. And then I come home. I ain't gonna even go into detail, but I want to get a shout out to Nicole Whitlow, my future ex-wife. Why everybody ducking and dodging me and hiding and campaigning and doing weird shit. Guess what? We coming. I'm putting it live. What do I got to lose? I only give those who give those back to real E-Live energy on Baka T. But it's wartime. I don't care. I'm calling everybody out. I don't care if you blood or non-blood. Y'all obviously don't give a flying shit about me. And this is Ghetto Fabulous. So yeah, and oh, non-fights, oh, people, everybody petty until it happened to you. So I want you motherfuckers to go to the hospital and come out paralyzed with one leg and come out positive, flying kites, singing Kumbaya, motherfuckers. Fuck that. On Baka T, I'm pissed. And anybody want it, y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know how to get to me. You can email me. You can call me. Y'all niggas know my numbers. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Help me find this bitch. She's ducking and dodging, and it is what it is. Because it's wartime against everybody. I'm sorry for being negative, but sometimes you can't be positive to everybody. You can't give your heart and show love to everybody. Because when the chips is down, we see who's there. And my chips are super down. And I seen who stabbed me in my back and tried to jump the rodeo. And then all these niggas sitting there trying to spit messages, subliminal messages and all this shit. But you can't do this shit to my face. You ain't got enough power, army, intellect, or wisdom to even fuck with me on Baka T. And this is facts. And I'm sick of this shit. So you know what? Watch your motherfucking asses. I got one leg, and how much you want to bet? With one leg. My fucking leg is paralyzed because I listened to you motherfuckers to have this fucking surgery. So fuck all this bullshit. I'm done with it. I'm done being positive. So wartime, let's go. Baka T, nigga.
So I also know that a lot of people want to make me out to be that I'm just bitter and I'm just so angry because he left me. Like, look, I left this man and I'm gonna prove that. Not that I need to, but it's just laughable because the truth is I literally left him a day that we had a staff meeting and I was studying the Bible before that, and he literally got mad because I wasn't giving him the reaction that he wanted and the attention that he wanted. I even clearly stated that I was reading my Bible, and this man proceeded to literally get angry with me and tell me that I'm not listening and I don't care what he has to say, and he's just gonna go then because he doesn't want to talk to somebody who doesn't want to talk to him and all of this. And I literally was like, I'm reading the Bible. I'm trying to spend time with the Father. If that's a problem, then like whatever. But that's not the first time that's happened either. And why I answered my phone? Well, because if I didn't answer my phone, it would have been a whole problem. But I just want to state, I definitely left this man. He did not leave me. In fact, he was so upset that I left him. Days after I left him, he literally tried to convince a family member to call me and tell me that he had 9 months to a year left to live. Yeah, that's how manipulative this man is, that he will literally try to say that he's going to die to try to get me to come back to him. And, you know, the evidence I'm also going to show you, by the way, I have him blocked, his phone number blocked, his email blocked, him blocked on Facebook, all of these things. I blocked him first. I didn't want to talk to him, but for some reason I still got his emails even though they went to my trash, even though I had him blocked. But you will also see on there that he always accused me of cheating, because one of the first things he wants to say was, congratulations on your new relationship. I'm definitely not in a relationship, and I'm not even focusing on that at all by any means. I'm focusing on my life, God, and my children, where my focus should be. And so I just think it's crazy that he wants to say that. But I'm just saying, because everybody thinks that I'm just so bitter and so hurt and I'm jealous of him. Honestly, what would I be jealous of him for? The fact that he can't ever hold down a job, that he's always tried to start things for himself that never work out because nobody wants your crappy clothing, and that, like, you barely have a relationship with a lot of your children. You didn't really raise them. The fact that you are a womanizer. There's so many things that you claim that you have a degree, but yet you've never done anything with it. Somebody who's literally mooched off every person that they've ever been with, and the only reason that they ever have everything that they need is because of their wife or girlfriend. So that makes me look like a clown, but I'm just stating facts here. What would I be jealous for? The fact that you're telling everybody to not go to a certain place, that if you don't repent and turn your life around, that's exactly where you're gonna go. Why would I be jealous of this man? If anything, I feel really bad for him. Truly, I don't want anything bad to happen to him. I just want the truth to come out. And honestly, with somebody like him, you will never get the truth, because he's just going to continue to lie and say things about me. Like I said, when he no longer has control over me, he's going to try to control the way that other people perceive me. And the normal thing that a narcissist does is actually try to claim the victim in the situation that they created when they're actually the abuser. They're very good at that, trying to say that the other person is crazy. I'm not even on any medications. The only medication that I take is to help me sleep. So I'm very much not crazy. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Don't smoke. Like, what, am I crazy? They'll try to call you crazy because you found them out. That's all that it is. That's the only reason he's calling me crazy. And all of those people who want to call me the Jezebel spirit, let me just read some traits of a Jezebel spirit, which this is him. You don't maybe know him well enough to know this, but a Jezebel spirit, often they will claim that the other person is the Jezebel spirit. And I was never going to call him a Jezebel, even though I knew he was. But since he wants to say that I am, that just goes to show even more. Controlling, manipulative, charming, scheming, very jealous, prideful, play the role of a victim, blame you for their behavior, selfish, master at lying and half-truths, dominant, no empathy, job instability, intimidation and threatening, isolation from family and friends, ruin holidays and birthdays, suspicious and paranoid, critical, contempt and disrespectful, never take responsibility, accusing you of doing what they actually do, compete with their own children, talk over you so they can have control of conversations. They will argue about petty and ridiculous things. They will never admit that they are wrong or apologize. They exaggerate everything. They are great at acting like they are the victim. They will gossip and spread rumors about the real victim to try to turn everyone away from them. They take offense easily, but will be offending people all day long. They act very sweet and innocent, but it's all fake. Behind closed doors, they are extremely evil. So, just want to point that out there. All of those things are things that this man does, and he is claiming the victim very, very, very well. So, I don't know. You guys can see for yourself who the real Jezebel here is, but I can tell you it's not me. Also, let's not forget to point out the fact that somebody commented on my post. I'm just going to call this person ZM. You'll have to go on my comments and look, because I don't want to... They're a minor still, so I don't really want to post that, but they put the comment themselves, so you can go on my very first video on YouTube and watch it. But this person said something along the lines of, I'm going to paraphrase, that this happened way before they were born. Mind you, this ZM is only 17 years old. And if this happened way before you were born, and it happened in 2009, let's just point out that that doesn't make any sense. Now, why would he say that? Probably because this very particular person, ZM, would definitely know if that happened in 2009. And that's why he set a different date, even though it never happened. That's why he says different dates to different people, because he knows certain people would definitely know. So I do truly believe that there are some people that, just truly don't know. And I often get asked, how did I find this out? And the truth is the back of his book was really one of the first things that I came to find out that he was lying to me about, right? And so I kind of did my own research and started researching that. And then I started to just question so many things. And then I found out that we couldn't go to Cuba. So that was another thing. So the pastor thing, the Lanu Association. I knew Lanu was a word he made up. Cuba. Then I found out that we couldn't go to Cuba. And then somebody literally, in my mind, it was not even possible that this couldn't be true, right? Like, I firmly believed. I was like, there was no way somebody could make something like this up who is trying to tell people not to go to this place. Why would somebody lie about that? Because if they continue and they're lying about that and they're lying about all these things, like, why would they do that? Don't they know their salvation's at risk? So in my mind, I'm like, there is no way. I remember when this person asked me that, they said, do you think it's possible that his story's not true? I said, if there's anything that he ever told me that was true, after I found out so many lies, I said, I think it's his story. I truly believe there's no way he could have made this up. But when I really started to do like my own research and my own digging, which is part of the reason I had to contact family members and stuff, because I was just like, this is just not making sense. It's not adding up. And people know when you're like in a relationship with somebody, like you tend to ignore a lot of red flags and you feel really dumb about it. And you're like, why didn't I think about this more? And that's kind of how I felt. But I guess I just wanted to believe that he was telling the truth, and I just thought, why would somebody ever lie about something like that? But it turns out he's lied about a lot more than just that.